So what was the last show that you went to go see before COVID shut everything down? Do you remember?
That we played or I saw?
The last show you saw or the last show you played, either one.
The last show we played was Bottle of Smoke, and that was at Sanctuary, March 10th, maybe? This was like the first weekend of things shutting down, isn't it?
Yeah, because I saw No
like
Anger
that.
Control on the March 11th. It was a Wednesday night.
Where was that?
And, it was at Tommy's.
Okay.
And that was like the week before everything pretty much shut down.
Okay. Because I remember Sanctuary was dead that night.
Mm-hmm. There weren't a whole lot of people out of Tommy's this night, and for No Anger Control especially.
Yeah.
For one of their shows, it was like kind of, I wouldn't say it was dead, but you could tell people were not out there because even though it was a Wednesday night, and Wednesday nights are like that.
This was on a week. I think it was like a Friday or Saturday, so it may have been that following week or something.
And it was weird too because like I walked in and like Levi saw me and he starts to shake my hand and I'm like, oh wait. You throw out the elbow, you know. Yeah. So we're doing the elbow, but by the end of the night, everybody's hugging, and it's like, even at that time, I was like, I don't know, this seems kind of weird because we already knew that things were getting ready to shut down.
Yeah, it was very surreal.
So it was a very weird time, but I kind of glad I really went that. Really am glad I went that night because it was the last chance I got to do something like that.
I'm trying to think of the last show I saw before everything shut down.
Was it close to, or is it?
I can't remember, honestly. It may have been at Milestone or something.
Yeah. But you said that show that you guys played was kind of like dead.
It was a sparse crowd. Yeah, because like COVID had been, released, via the news, the word of COVID, so to speak. And so it was like, people are paranoid. People are getting all worried and shit. And
yeah, by middle of March, they were already starting to put out these warnings like, this is very serious.
Because that's our time to shine. Mm-hmm. St. Patrick's Day. We had shows. Yeah, and I was going to do the thing up at Lake Norman with Ghost of Bannockburn, which I'm still on good terms with them, even though I left. But Will asked me, "Hey, do you want to fill in and do some banjo and mandolin for us?" Yeah, sure, absolutely. Send me your set list. Mm-hmm. I'll work on it. And so that was supposed to happen, and it didn't.
Yeah.
That was the biggest show I ever played, was with Ghosts. They had, up there at the Galway Hooker, up in Cornelius, they shut down that road. The stage is outside. So, man, we played like 3,000 people.
That's amazing.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And I was like, oh, God.
You were nervous before you went out there?
I was. Well, see, I used to get really bad stage fright I still do sometimes. It depends,
Yeah. I don't really get stage fright, but I always get nervous, a little bit nervous.
I guess that's a good way of putting it. Yeah, because, I say stage fright, but I still get up there anyway because I have to. Yeah,
Once you're up there, you're like, oh, this is awesome.
Well, usually at like venues like Milestone, even stage lights, I can't see the crowd.
Yeah,
and that helps.
Yeah, it helps.
But we're in like broad daylight and at the Galway Hooker, and it's just like a sea of people. Just like you look out there, man, and it's just like front to back, just packed. And you're just like, all right, let's do this. It's a good thing I'm not singing.
Yeah.
So, but it was awesome. That's an awesome experience, doing something like that. Mm-hmm. Fun, especially in front of that many people.
Yeah, it was because like I said, March 11th was the last show I saw. So St. Patrick's Day was just the next week, and I do remember that being kind of
before everything shut down, didn't we?
Yeah, we played February 22nd at Freeman's. So it wasn't that long.
Who was on that bill?
It was us.
Did we play with at the Milestone after that, or was that before? We played like a show at the Milestone, like in the middle of the week or something.
Oh yeah. We did play with. It was that was January.
Oh,
that was with Paint Fumes and Caveman. I look at the poster over there.
That show at Freeman's was with Queen City Rejects, wasn't it?
It was with No Anger Control and Trash Firm.
Okay, I do remember
that one right there.
Okay, yep, I do
remember. We played February 22nd there, and then so yeah, I do because I remember St. Patrick's Day being kind of that big deal. Like all these bars, Freeman's is one of them. That St. Patrick's Day is big for them. All of a sudden, they couldn't do anything.
Yeah,
pretty much. It was like everything was kind of shut down, and I don't know if it was completely shut down at that point, but I do remember it being like, please don't go out for St. Patrick's Day. Don't go out and celebrate St. Patrick's Day. crazy year, man. I think about it a lot.
Yeah.
And like how I never, of course, nobody ever expects to live through and do something like this in their lifetime. You don't think, oh man, I'm going to live through a pandemic. Although I guess we should start thinking that way, but it's been just crazy all the way through. And I've appreciated the slowdown a little bit, but also really, there's a lot of things I miss.
Oh, yeah. Chinese buffets.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, trust me, when it comes to eating out now, so I work at Domino's. I'll eat Domino's because I can kind of be in control of usually I make my own food there. I'll eat here, and that's like stuff I buy, frozen food or whatever.
Right.
It all comes from the grocery store. But I don't go to fast food. I go to the taco truck. That's why I'm there. That's why I went 4 times this week. Because the only place I trust to go eat, and it's just because I've chosen that place, and I've chosen to trust them, because I love their tacos, is the taco truck. And so I just don't. I've went through a drive-through, I think, once since the pandemic started. I went to a Taco Bell one night and it was weird, and I was like, I'm not coming back here.
Yeah, I don't eat a lot of fast food. I like Bojangles, but that's not.
I used to eat too much of it. I mean, I still didn't eat it all the time, but I not that the stuff that I eat here is better because it's usually prepackaged stuff, frozen food or canned food or whatever. I don't really do a whole lot of cooking here. But it's just, I don't know. I just got the weirdest feeling when I went through that Taco Bell drive-through that time. I'm like, I just don't want to do this. I'll just, But,
I haven't had maybe because that's what I do. Well, you do it too. But I don't think it's bothered me that much. I've eaten a lot of fast food. And went out a lot of places.
I've been out to eat twice, like with my daughter.
As long as they're, distanced or whatever, I figure at least they're trying.
Both times I was kind of okay with it, but at the same time I was like, I'd just rather not be here. But to be spending time with my daughter, I was there.
Yeah.
I don't know, and I hope. I feel like maybe I'm a little bit I worry too much about it because I probably shouldn't. And I think that once things start to kind of get under control, whenever they do, I will kind of get back to that, getting back into the routine. But I honestly don't think I'll start going through the drive-through at Taco Bell anymore.
Everybody should have.
I've kind of lost that habit of going to get fast food, and maybe I can continue to lose that habit.
Everybody needs to creep back to normal at their own pace. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely,
and not at a too fast of a pace.
Yeah, not too fast.
I don't want to be like we were talking about before, like one of the first sets of bands playing and stuff.
Yeah, that's one thing
don't talk shit about nobody right now.
I was getting ready to. I wasn't, not to talk shit about anybody, but I was kind of getting ready to say something about that a minute ago, and I kind of got sidetracked. But like down in South Carolina, bands are playing pretty regularly now. If we wanted to have a show at Freeman's in a couple of weeks, we could play a show. Van Huskins and Commonwealth could be playing at Freeman's if we wanted to. But I'm not there yet.
Yeah, I don't see.
I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with people that are there yet.
I mean, I miss it, but I don't think now's the time.
Yeah, I think, and this is the way. So, like when I was talking to Jeff Clayton, he said that they kind of wanted to be one of the first bands back out there playing, but he said he just doesn't feel like enough people really give a shit about. He was like, why should I go out there and play a show? Because why should anybody care about what I'm doing right now? Because there's other stuff to worry about.
Yeah.
And there's more to it than that, but like the way I look at it is, and you can relate to this, I know. Like if I got it, I'm not so worried so much about me getting it. But if I got it and I brought it home to my parents, I'd never forgive myself.
Yeah,
that's the way I look
absolutely.
at it.
And I know you can totally relate to that.
Yeah.
So for me, it's just not. I'd love to be playing shows. I'd love to have a show this coming weekend. Not really. No, not honestly. Honestly, I wouldn't under the circumstances. Normal circumstances, I'd love to be playing a show. But right now, I just don't feel like, kind of like Jeff Clayton said, why should anybody give a shit that I'm playing a show? Why should I be like, hey, come see our band play?
Right.
When we got so many other things to worry about right now.
Absolutely.
And I would love to have a night of going to go see a band play and getting to get away from all that. But right now, you couldn't get away from all that. If you went to see a band play, the only thing you'd be thinking about was What's this person standing beside me?
Yeah.
Where have they been?
Unless they're outside or something, maybe possibly.
Even then,
depending
I'm
on
like,
the situation.
Because I've thought about that too. Because there's been some, we could probably have had an outdoor show if we wanted one. But, you know, just because it's outdoors doesn't make it safe. And that's why, like, when you see these big presidential rallies where people are outside and they're standing shoulder to shoulder, you're not, that doesn't make you safe just because you're outside.
Nah.
You're safer outside. But when you're shoulder to shoulder, you're really not any safer than you are when you're sitting in a room like we are right now.
Some people can't, it's hard to go without, I'm trying to say this in a nice way. Some people have to have that to perform in front of other people, to play live, which I love too. But I also know that creating the music and writing the songs and stuff is at least as important as playing live. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it is.
Just at least it's important. And you can really take this time to kind of hone your craft a little bit. I know we're talking about punk rock, but he plays real music, you know, Simon does.
Well, I think we play real music too, but it's a time to kind of step back and go, okay, it's not all about me, and it's not all about people seeing me play.
Yeah.
I can sit back and I can write some new music, and we can work on getting better as a band. And then when all this is over, and I feel comfortable playing a show, and you feel comfortable coming to see me play a show, then we can play a show and have a good time, and not have to worry about bumping elbows, and not have to worry about, you know, what's this guy beside me? Where's he been?
Right. No, I hear you.
I just feel like, as much as I'd love to play a show right now, I also don't want to play a show right now. I don't know. I don't really know where I'm going with this, but I just feel like it's just crazy time.
Yeah, I mean,
it's hard to make
no
sense of it
blueprint
all
for what we're going through, and whatever chance we had, they threw it away. Apparently.
Well, I even think about that. So, like, I always think that maybe if they had followed all the recommendations and done everything the right way, that maybe we could have gotten this under control and we could be back to doing what we're doing. But then you see, like, all these other countries out there that at one point had it under control. Yeah. They're having surges right now, too.
Yeah, I think England just shut down again.
And I think it just goes to show that once you think you have it under control, people get lazy. And I see it. We don't have it under control in America.
No.
But I already see people being lazy with it. And people, I mean, I'm not washing my hands like I was when this all started. You kind of get a little bit of pandemic fatigue, I guess. And you start just going about your business regularly. Yeah. Oh, I haven't gotten it yet, so... And it's not like you really think about it that way. It's that it's subconsciously it kind of goes that way, I think. And I think that no matter how careful we would have been here, this winter is still going to be challenging.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't think we've set ourselves up to be, in this country, to have as easy of a time as we could have had with it. Not that it would have been easy. I just think it's going to be much harder.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I think we're heading into it at a disadvantage where... As like, I don't know, I'm throwing a country out here at random, but I don't know. New Zealand might still have it under control. For a long time, they had no no cases, but they're kind of isolated. But like, say Germany, I think they had it under control pretty early, but they're having a surge again. You know, and it's like, I don't know, man. I don't know how safe we are or how careful we are. If it does make a difference. Obviously, it makes a difference.
Yeah.
But I still don't know that we'd be playing shows. A lot of people say that, you know, had everybody been wearing their mask when they were supposed to, we'd be playing shows again. I don't know that I would be.
Yeah, you're right.
You might be, but I might not be.
It seems like people could have cooperated a lot more instead of, you know, the fucking Cheeto Hitler making fun of people for wearing masks and shit.
Yeah.
You know?
I do wish people would have cooperated more, because I think it would be better. Like I said, regardless of whether it would be perfect or not.
But nobody, we can't like band together for some reason. We can't all come together for the common good without somebody trying to exploit it, you know? It's fucking ridiculous.
Speaking of the common good, Commonwealth.
Yes.
I like that name. Is there any like specific reason behind the name,
No.
or is it just like a?
To me, what it represents.